Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another video by Jessica Gould, owner of J. Gould Consulting. Today, I want to talk to you guys about California's budget and how it just came out. This is the proposed budget by the governor. Anyone who's heard us talk about this kind of stuff hears us talk about May revise, January, and the end of the year quite a bit. So I just wanted to make a brief video and explain why we talk about engagement so much at different times of the year. This is an example of what we are talking about in reality. Give me a moment to share my screen and also exit out of that. There we go. Less distracting for everyone around. So what you are seeing on the screen right now is ebudget.ca.gov. I have talked about this before, and as you can see, it is already automatically set to 2526. This is a summary PDF of the proposed budget by the governor. The official summary should be available sometime next week, considering today is Friday the 10th. Let's click into this so people can get an idea of where you need to be looking. For example, if you're in the disability space, your sector is Health and Human Services. So you would have to scroll down all the way to page 47. It is very important for you to know where your organization or cause falls underneath the larger categories of budget breakdown. These do not change. So for today's proposition or talk, we are going to be looking at page 47. So give me a moment to get to that page. This is where it's going to be a little bit tedious, and I do apologize. We're going to skip over the introduction. I'm going to move some stuff around so I can see the proper pages. Bear with me. I apologize, everyone. There we go. I just had to. So we're scrolling down to, again, as a brief reminder, Health and Human Services, which includes the intellectual developmental disability population in California. Within that larger committee category, this all gets very complicated, and we are in a more conservative mindset as a nation. That is the one caution I would give any organization looking to make change within their state or in the nation at this time, is regardless of what your state says, it is a more conservative time frame. So, oops. I am so sorry about that. I went too far. So 49, I am at 69. So we have to go back up a little bit slower. Stopping. So my general advice to anyone is to be aware of the potential conservative mindset that you will be entering. Um, due to the climate of politics in today's world. California is traditionally liberal, but regardless, these are good thoughts to keep in mind. Health and Human Services, here we go. So this includes healthcare. So it gets really mired in that in the first couple pages. Department of Social Services, teleworks, child care development. But right under child care development is the Department of Developmental Services. If your agency works within or represents the intellectual developmental disability system in California, this is where this becomes important. Now, if you notice underneath, it is only 2 paragraphs. And that is why in the other section, it says full summary is to be coming out soon. But this gives you a rough idea of what the department, which dictates or is the final decision maker, the federal representation for intellectual developmental disability, has received from the governor in the beginning of 2025. Now, this looks pretty typical. If you give me a moment, I can take you guys back to 2024 and this particular section. It's actually a little bit better than previous years at 19 billion this year. And then there's a breakdown of each amount, which I am not going to go into. They do have a definitional requirement towards health and safety for the population, which is why COVID-19 is mentioned and money is allocated to that protection at a specific amount as allocated, as indicated here. And they do have a automatic obligation to children, which is why it mentions early start. That is as much about the 2025 budget that I will be sharing. I am not a representation of the Department of Developmental Services. I just understand how all this breaks down. But I will go back. You guys are going to stay on screen because here we are back at the budget of California. So if you want to know a comparison, let's go to 24-25 last year. And we're just going to go to simply the summary. Same thing we did previously, but you'll see a comparison and you'll understand what I am talking about. It looks a little bit different because this is no longer, this has been passed and dealt with. But I just want to show you guys Health and Human Services. It's going to be around the same page, so we just have to get there. That's the nice part about how things are written. Once you understand it, you roughly know where to go. Um, and again, I've gone down too far. That is my fault. I do not know why I'm doing that today. I apologize, you guys. And I hope people find this information helpful. That's why I do these presentations on occasion. But this is an example of what a budget would look like in Health and Human Services once it's actually dealt out. You can see how many agencies are in here. It's quite a few, which is why I'm mentioning the Department of Disability Services, DDS, is the agency responsible for intellectual developmental disabilities. So we just have to get up to their page. So let's see. Healthcare services. Department of Social Services. In-home supported. Essential income. Children. Child care development. Immigration. Department of Developmental Services. Again, this is what I wanted to point out. As you saw, the proposed budget was 19 million or 19 billion, excuse me. But if we look right here, that is almost a $4 billion increase in comparison to last year. Last year, the department had $15.3 billion. So if you look at it from that perspective, there is an increase in the system. And this is what I wanted to emphasize to anyone working in this space. To look at whatever causes you're trying to pass. If you feel your cause has not been addressed in the years or whatever the case may be, my advice is to look at things like this and do a comparison, because the more money put into the department is actually allocated to the population. Sector by sector, that can get quite complicated, but the general idea is that legislative advocacy works. And that is the thought I want to close on today. Remember that the efforts are difficult. Yes. We are not even saying they're not. They're extremely difficult. But they're always worth it. Because with every advocacy effort, even the most technical minds in this planet get a better viewpoint of the actual issues facing a population. So never, ever stop fighting for something better. We live in a democracy no matter what. There are bureaucratic elements always involved. That is a reality anyone in any state has to face. But your ability to impact the decisions and direction is still something possible. The end piece of advice I would give anyone is to realize where you're willing to compromise, where you're willing and have to say, okay, in order to get this, we'll give you this. That is democracy. No one gets everything. And this is not a pleasant thing I like to tell my clients, but it is essential to know if you're going to be in political advocacy for underserved populations, such as developmental disability. I am going to stop sharing my screen. Thank you so much for joining me today. Continue to subscribe to my channel and contact my company if you find yourself in need of breaking through these very complex systems.